All right, all right, all right. Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Hello, everybody. Um, welcome to this week's episode of Demo Day with Splat. I am Brett Taylor, and I'm going to be talking about governance and updating my governance profile because it is the beginning of the month, and that's what happens in Superalgos land every month. And then I'll talk about the trading strategy that I got running live today. That's always fun talking about different ways to trade and make money. So, because that's what everybody's here for, right? Let me update my window capture here. Boom. So you can see exactly how much. Let's make that a little bigger. Boom. That looks better. How much money I'm not going to make this week, or may make, who knows. And then I want to get my little putty window going here. Hey, got it. Update this text size for you so you can see it. Get it up to, what works? Fly. Ooh, is that too big? Maybe too big. I could always make this a little bit bigger. Can't I? Why? A little weird. Like cropped. Um. Okay. I guess that's the best you'll get. Kind of showing everything. Oh, moving my window here. Sorry, doing it live. Not great. So yeah, I need to, whoa, before we get any further, I need to show you what beer I'm drinking this week. I decided to check out another local brewery called La Cabra Brewing this week. I haven't had any of their beers yet, but I've heard really good things. And this, out of all of them that I bought, is the one that I like the best. It is called Hope. It's a New England IPA with 7% alcohol, brewed with tangerine, grapefruit, and lactose. And it is, they don't say what types of hops, but I'm sure you can find a description online. But anyway, it is, not too sweet, not too, what's the word I'm looking for? Bitter. So it's actually a really tasty, light, spring-like IPA. It's very good. So, cheers. All right. So now we can get down to business. So, first steps to updating your governance profile is to pull all the latest upstream code. And then I want to go into plugins governance. You pull upstream develop. And you can see we got some people's updated profiles already. Gonna do a npm CI, make sure I'm up to date with all the packages. This takes a minute. But let me see here. I didn't see any people reporting any bugs in the developers channel. And I didn't see anybody. See anybody complaining that workspaces weren't working or anything like that. Okay, good. That didn't take too long. Oh, I can install a new version of npm. Might as well. Oh, that didn't like that. Because you have to be sudo to install things globally in Linux land. I'll do that later. All right, so let's get this node platform, node browser running. And then I can hop over here and load up my workspace. And I updated my streaming software today and I lost all my chat boxes. So I hope I can see when people have something to say. May miss it, but who knows? So now we want to go to the token distribution workspace. May have to update some. Let's see. That looks okay. We gotta wait. Takes a while to unload the grid trading workspace that I was working on. There we go. In a while. And hopefully this is still working. Still going. On. There we go. I think there's some stuff happening. Connecting nodes. Reticulating splines. Loading profiles. Oh, there we go. It was just zoomed in. Okay, so first thing we always do is find your plugin user profile. Ban this. And let's see, I think I see my here. There we go. Fan that out a little bit. We want to turn this on to enable saving with Workspace. And we can shrink. And again, can't find yourself, zoom in somewhere. Go to the docs. Type in your username. And it will zoom you right there. I want to expand. I want to just delete these from last week. I mean, from last month. Wait, which? So we'll add those on. I'll add a missed claims folder. Those onboarding programs we don't really care about. And bump these up this. Let's try 30. 30. Let's see. Then we want to go down here to the pools. And let's see. Today is pools day, isn't it? Let me double check. Way to vote on pools. And then next is tomorrow is weighted votes on positions. Then your contribution claims. So what I like to do, now that I have that expanded, come over here, find my weight switch votes, going to copy the node using this icon here. Come down here and snap node here. Oh, I didn't pin it. That's why. So I pin, copy, and then I snap. No, come on. Clicking the wrong things. Copy, snap that out of the way a little bit. Now I can get my, actually, let's see here. I want to add 2 of these. I want to vote on the governance programs, and I want to link this to, I'm right clicking, by the way. I guess you can't really tell. Right clicking brings up these little circles so that you can create the links. The other cool thing you can do is this create a reference button. Here, I'll show how to do that, because I don't think I've highlighted that before. We can detach our reference and then click on, that's a double click, double left click. Now we click create a reference. And what I want to create is the team's work. So I can click on team's work. And now I have my reference. You can see here very faintly there is a gray line going from this pentagon, orange pentagon, to the team's work pool class. So now I can shut that, I can unpin that. And now when I come back here, I can say add missing votes. Here I can say add missing votes. And hopefully at some point, that may be tomorrow, the team position. But you can see I now have all these different programs that I'm dividing 103 tokens into. Sorry, 103,000 tokens into. And I generally just kind of assume that everybody can just take these tokens. I don't try to go through and pick too much just because I am not that picky. So that's that. Team contributions. I don't think this has been, yeah, this hasn't really been updated. That or, oh, maybe it has been. They just didn't update the name. So I can go ahead and make my team claim. So this is my position team claims folder in it. Copy the node with a left click. And then I come down here and I'm going to do my own personal Brett's team. And I move it here. Pin that out of the way for a second. Unpin. Then I can link that, install missing claims. Unpin. And boom. I've got my, here it is, my claims already set up. I'm ready to go. And I think that's basically it. I think that somebody was telling me that there's more optimization you can do in these mentorship programs. Again, if you are brand new to this and you aren't sure what to do, mentorship programs are here for you to reward somebody who may have brought you in to Superalgos or given you a lot of great support, answered your questions. The referral program is obviously who referred you. So you create a link to a person, to their profile. Excuse me. Same thing with the support program. Excuse me. Somebody who has been offering you support and guiding you through the process. You can add a whole bunch of different people. There's multiple users that you can add. And then if you have people coming in to you, listing you as a referrer or support or a mentor, you will get tokens awarded for doing that. But you can see, I think on mine here, it says 0 descendants. So nobody has listed me as a mentor or a supporter or a referrer, which is fine. Other parts, there is a token staking. Not exactly sure how the staking part of this works. Delegating power. If you are something like a team leader and you have somebody brand new to the team that contributed but doesn't have any tokens because, like, for example, it's their first month, you can delegate tokens to them so that they can place votes and claims appropriately. So most people don't need to worry about that. And then the liquidity programs are a way for you to get rewarded by providing liquidity on PancakeSwap, BuySwap, and 1inch decentralized exchanges. Yeah, that looks right for me. I didn't really put in a whole lot. But yeah, that's basically it. You just have to create these links, install the missing votes, and then you can go through this and configure your voting power as you want. So if I wanted to change this voting power, I would say something like percentage is 50. It should give me the exact same thing. because I already have 50% of it, of the weight going there. Here, I'll do a different number just for giggles. And you can see there, it updated to 25%. Sorry, it's very small on your screen there. Or you can just delete it and let it do its thing. So yeah, that's it for governance workspace. Save. And you can see up here, I have this blue little ring, which means that my profile's saved along with the workspace. And then I can load up my putty here. I can I don't want to close out. Yeah, I might as well. All right, so I saved. I will open up a new tab, close that one. So now I can kill this. You can see that my main branch or my main project here is totally fine. Oh, I need to load my SSH key. I need to go into plugins, governance. Now you can see I have a star next to my develop here. Get status. My user profile is the only thing modified. So I want to git checkout -b, update, flat. I'll do to profile. Git add my user profile. Git commit my sem updates flat profile. And I need my H key. There you have it. Here's my G. And I want this. Copy, paste. Boom. Sign my commit. Hit push. And now I can open up my browser again. Want to make sure it goes to develop. And I can create my pull request. And if this is doing what it should do, will hopefully automatically merge because of the bot that's running in the background. Hopefully. Nope. Okay. Well, anyway. Let's get checkout develop again. What do I want to do? Let's load up this profile, this trading strategy that I've been working on. Where's the best place for me to show this? Let's do it What? Go to this one. All right, there we go. We've got some eyes. Oh, what's going on? So some of these could be more. Did that one stop? Huh. So, I guess what I can show right now is we can see there's a little bit of a grid going on here, and one of them, I guess, died. If we can figure out which one that is. Be a little bit by order. Nope, not that one. That one. Why is that not? Sometimes I feel like this is, how do I want to say this? Right now I'm connected to one of my, Raspberry Pis, or it's actually an Odroid board, and seems to get the graphs sometimes don't show up exactly as they should. So I think that's what's happening here. So like I should have these episodes showing up, but for some reason they're not. Strategy isn't showing up. So sometimes the layers, I only notice it when I'm using these lower power compute boards. But they're really good as a constant server because they don't use up a whole lot of power. You can run them at home. They're relatively inexpensive to purchase, although obviously the chip shortage recently has been tough on the semiconductor industry and anything that uses semiconductors. So, anyway, I have several of these running and they do the job. But every once in a while they have little hiccups. I don't know why that's not working. Only the one. It says, oop, wrong button. Did it die? That could be why, if it did die. I don't know. Maybe it didn't update. Number 3 says it should be running too. Anyway, that's kind of funky. But the cool stuff is here. You can see that I went over kind of the philosophy behind this last time, but just to kind of recap, let me turn off some of these. Got so many layers. I'm trying to show these all on one graph, which is kind of cool that you can do this, and I'll show you how I did it. No, not that one. Just trying to turn off some of these layers that I have on here. Come on. Oh, all right. So you can see I have this grid showing up, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I definitely have a couple that died. I guess maybe the CPU was too intense or something. But anyway, some of these are working and placing their purchase orders, their buys, and it looks like a grid. I've got these separated by 2%. Went through a good amount of back testing, probably not extensive enough for most people, but I was confident enough to try and get it to run live with small amount of capital. And I started with the 1 hour out here. The 1 hour EMA. Get these on here. 200. Oh, wrong button. So you can see this gold one coming through here is the 1 hour EMA 200. I found that with the back testing that essentially if I use this 1 hour 200 as my midline, so I set, or it's actually not even using it as the midline, I'm more or less using it as the top. And this worked out really well so that in a down market like we've had for several months, if I keep this 200 as the top, and then I'll sell at 2% above that, but I make this my 1.0, my 100%, I have a greater chance of not buying on a peak like this, buying here, and then trying to sell and having it wait for months or years before it can actually return and make the sale. Sorry, and yeah, sorry, I'm confusing myself. Make the sale, because you can see, like, if I were to draw a line straight across here, I still wouldn't actually be able to sell any of these purchases because the market just hasn't recovered that much. But of course, the day that I was trying to get this into play, yesterday, the day before, the market turned and started going back up. And the downfall of my strategy is that I can't really take advantage of these peaks and valleys that are going on above the 200 when the market is up. But my strategy does really well with these big dips that happen. So I can take advantage of all this value of the market dropping, buy all the way down, and then generally you can see that most of these recover almost all the way. Not quite all the way. But there's less of a chance of having these dangling limit sell orders out there with the way that I set this up. And so that's why if you're looking at, let's zoom back into my 1 minute chart. You can see all my purchases are down below where the actual chart is at the moment, where all the candles are. Because I went a little bit more conservative with my approach, my strategy. But this is running live now, so we'll see how it happened, how well it goes. So far, obviously, it's been running for, what is that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. Hasn't made a buy yet because the market just hasn't come down enough. but that's fine. And then I'll need to figure out why some of these aren't working. Why is this not? All right, let's refresh. See if we can get this to pick up. Yeah, I'll have to see if I have any errors. That might be what happened is there might have been too much going on at the 1 minute interval. So these all kind of overran each other and made one of them die. Because this, change over to my putty share. And let's change you to this one. Nope, wrong one. And of course it's too small to see. Let's increase your text size. That's better. All right, so if I run htop, distributed by CPU usage right now. And if we get lucky, we wait long enough for a minute. Here we go. Everything starts spinning up. We have all these node processes, the task server. You can see the different IDs of the processes that are going on, and our CPU gets pegged. Memory's doing okay. But yeah, everything freaking died. All right, so let's see here. We need to stop number 8. And I believe it's number 3. The reason why I didn't start 1 and 2, oh, not showing you my browser. Didn't start 1 and 2 because I just don't have enough money in Binance at the moment. And this is really just kind of like a live test. So let's stop that. Now, so I had approximately 0125. Gonna go ahead and manually cancel these orders. Let's see here. So that's number 3. Open this up. Is that one? No. That. And of course I can't. This. What am I looking for? So that's at rate 012 011. Zero one one two. And not cancel in the app? I guess I can't cancel in the app. Oh, well, that's annoying. Alright, so 0112 I need to cancel. And this one, number 8. Anyway, what else can I show? So, how I got this to work was set up all these different, essentially copies of each other, grid trading strategies. Excuse me. And the reason I went with this approach is that all of these different strategies, trading systems can operate independently of each other. And when one is in a position, these other ones can still operate completely independently, make purchases, and sell. Whereas if you use one trading system and you have multiple strategies inside of it, only one of these strategies can be active at a time. You can do multiple orders and you can have them all operate at the same time, and you can tell them to have different amounts of money. So like spawn multiple orders, percentage of algorithm size. Oh, I didn't realize that. Spawn multiple orders false. Maybe that's why that always comes out differently. Anyway, that just caught my eye. So one thing that I think what I was just noting is this spawn multiple orders true is true on the buy side. And I never noticed it before, but the default setting on the sell side is false. And the reason that caught my eye is that right now with these buy orders, you can essentially create a loop with this cancel order event where I have it cancel after about an hour. So if this period's value is more than 60, which is 60 minutes, obviously, then it'll cancel it and the system will essentially loop back and create another order. So that's what you see going on here. It waits 60 minutes, it cancels, makes a new one, and keeps going. And I've wanted that to happen on the sell side as well, and I was never able to get it to work. And I have not tried setting this to true, and I wonder if that's how I would get that to work. But that's for another time. Anyway, I added in my announcements so that I can get some data sent out to Twitter, Discord, and Slack. Slack and Discord are more or less just for my own information. And then Twitter, I decided to enable just as another way to kind of evangelize Superalgos. Just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of neat playing around, coding, having these different integrations. But you'll see that this message here, pre-formatted text, is what, if you follow my bot on Twitter, what you'll see. And I don't think I actually make any use of these user-defined codes anymore, but I have these in here too to kind of store a couple of values, like if it was a buy or sell, what the order rate was, and the amount of size, the amount of tokens that were filled, or coins. And I do that same thing on the sell side as well. Another thing that I found that I had to do once I finally came into active trading, live trading, is I had to modify this managed stop loss. I started with the getting started workspace, which has the lightning strike strategy built into it. And this logic was essentially taken from that lightning strike, but it looked at the trading last strategy. And for some reason for me, that value was not being populated. So my managed stop loss was always staying at 0. So I came in and changed it to say, if my open stage is now closed, then go ahead and essentially move on immediately. Set stop loss to whatever the end rate was, and that should immediately trigger stop loss, which will then immediately trigger my close stage. Managed take profit is left alone, and it essentially just sets a level that's always 20% above where the current process is, current candles. But yeah, another, I guess, update that I had from last time is I ended up putting in a little bit of a stop loss on my sell side. So I essentially immediately place a sell limit order 2% up. And then I wait, I believe I have it wait a month. And if it can't close within a month, basically give up. And yeah. So 43,200 minutes is, I think, about 30 days. If it can't make that sale within 30 days, it cancels this limit order and essentially just makes a market order to get out as quick as possible. Same thing here. I added in my announcements and got a little bit of logic here to calculate some ROI. I ended up doing some of this here in this code because I was finding that at the time I was making these announcements, the trading engine here wasn't up to date with exactly what I needed, the data that I needed. So I found that calculating it on the fly was a little bit more precise for me. Otherwise, these data points are great for the charting space. And so if you're using this charting space, that's perfect. But it's really just kind of like a race condition in an order of operations issue. Um, I don't know what else is there to show. Everything else is kind of the same as what I had last week, or I guess it was 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I didn't make too many other updates. I did put in a trigger on event to make sure that the candle, I said if the candle max is above, but essentially, what I found doing live trading manually on these exchanges is if you, and you've probably seen some of this before just following the markets, unless you're brand new, sometimes people fat finger orders and leave at a decimal point or set the decimal point at the wrong place. So if, for example, let's say there's a coin that you're trying to trade that's at 0.05 dollars or USDT or whatever you're trading. If you place your order, you place your buy order, you usually want to buy below that current value. If you place your buy order at 0.5, for example, you won't actually make a purchase at 0.5 unless you're purchasing a large amount of money. If you're trying to trade $1 million and you place it at 0.5, you may actually get the market to come all the way up or partially up to that value. But otherwise, that's the market, the exchange kind of understands that you made a mistake, but it will immediately sell or place your buy order for essentially what the current market value is. So, I guess a better example would be like if the current price is at 0.06, you place an order, buy order at 0.05, a little bit below, but you actually type in 0.5, you will essentially immediately place your actual buy at 0.06. Essentially what it comes out to be. So anyway, if we were making this grid, the chart was way down. Let's zoom out to where the chart's down a little bit. Let's see here. So if we were placing these limit orders up above these candles here, they in actuality would essentially just buy immediately. And so I would not wait for the price to come up to where I want it. I have to wait for the candles to be above so I can actually place this order, have it stay open until the price comes back down to meet it. I hope that kind of made sense. If not, I'll have to come up with some better wording around it. But anyway, that's what that trigger on is supposed to avoid, is to wait for the candles to actually be above where you want to make your purchase, so that you can put your order in. It will stay open until the price comes back down, as opposed to acting like a market order and just buying immediately. I think that's it. I think those are all the changes that I made from the last time that I was in here. Trying to think of what else. That's pretty much it. I don't think I have too much else to talk about. So I picked out Dogecoin and ADA, Cardano, to trade first, just because I thought that the hashtags might drive a little bit more traffic to my Twitter if I was targeting a smaller community instead of getting washed out in the sea of people posting about Bitcoin. But otherwise, I would probably choose Bitcoin or something with a higher volume so that the market will actually move a little bit quicker and you may have actual more chances to buy and sell. But that may not always be true. So do your own research and do what's best for you. I think that's it. I don't have anything else to talk about. I didn't get into any of the decentralized exchange stuff in the past couple of weeks. Mainly because in my free time, I was working on this trading strategy. Just really wanted to get it done and get it out and get it running. And, yeah, that's it. I don't have any other updates, and nobody hopped on to ask questions. So, I'm just going to finish my beer. And, oh, I changed tabs here for a second. I guess I could show you the other, my ADA. If you're curious, I have I have 4 Odroid C4s running. I have 4 Odroid C2s running. The C2s are pretty weak. Yeah, I have to load my grid. Yeah, I've tried a couple different strategies. Originally tried one that was Ichimoku based, and I did not do too well with that. I think I got that into play well after the market was on its pump, its initial pump. Loading. Hope so. There it goes. And it did not do well on the downswing, so I kept losing money. And then I made one that I ran for a while on a bunch of different markets that was extremely simple. It was just a EMA crossover strategy. And that ended up not making any money either, mainly because the market was still in a downward spiral. I think that's kind of what happened. But yeah, that's where working on a longer timeline, like a 24-hour timeline, is probably better, so that you wait until the market is actually on its way up, as opposed to doing something on like a 5-minute, 3-minute, 10-minute, whatever interval, and everything will be a lot more volatile. See if these are working. Oh, looks like one may have died. Yeah, so let's see. If this is my 1.0, or 100%, 98%, 96%, so this one looks like it died. So my hardware may not be able to keep up with running this many trades. Maybe I have to kill a couple. But otherwise, it looks like everything else is up and running. Maybe it's just a little bit unstable. So yeah, this, again, this top level is my 100% on the 1 hour EMA 200. And then everything else is 2% below that. So 98%, 96, 94, 82, 90, 88, 86, 84, And there's an 82 down here that you can't really see there. You can see this is doing much better. I actually had these other layers showing, which for some reason on the other node wouldn't show. Maybe it's a node. Maybe the node itself just isn't good. Sometimes they do that. Every now and then you have hardware issues. That might be why it's better to run as a virtual machine up in the cloud, but that costs more money. So you can see we're really close to making a couple purchases, but slowly making its way back down. Anyway, that's it for me tonight. I don't have anything else to talk about. If anybody has any questions about this trading strategy or governance, you can find me on Twitter at Superalgos. My bot is BT Crypto Stats. BT being initials of my name. You can see me on, I hang out on the Superalgos Telegram, Superalgos Discord. Post, if you have questions and you use Reddit, you can post questions on Reddit. We have our Superalgos. It's not very active. I'm generally the only one posting blog posts and things like that there, but feel free. I will probably see it if nobody else does, and I'll try and answer your question. And of course, I'll be back here next week. I'm going to try and do more of these. Try and do a lunchtime one, because I know that there's a lot of Europeans that coming on at 9 o'clock on the East Coast of the US is not very useful for them. But I don't know. That's it for me. Check out the repo and GitHub. Check out the blog on Medium. And yeah, download the software, try it out, get it going. I think that's it. So I will see you next week. Yeah, catch you on the flippy floppy. See ya.